About now, we decide where we're going to plant our onions. We look at our crop history of rotation. So we will, typically we're following peas, beans, wheat, or corn on our onions. And so we will do a soil sample, and we'll see what minerals are available for the coming year to grow a crop of onions. We give them the yield that we anticipate. They tell us how much fertilizer, how much N, P, and K, zinc, boron, everything we're going to need. So we'll put on just a small amount, enough to get the onions started. So we harvest the wheat, we disc the wheat, we plow the wheat, then we put the fertilizer on, which is just a small part, and then we bed the ground and we let it sit through the winter. When we bed the ground, it is made to a T or to a diamond point, and as we do that through the winter, the rains, that's our rainy season. As the rains come, they build the soil moisture up. In early March, we will come in and we will knock that bed off so it's flat, so we are back into good moisture, and we plant our onions. We knock off, then we plant, and then we put the drip tape down, and as the drip tape's put down, we plant that in early March, but we don't have any water until probably the end of April, first part of May. And so we, as we plant, we put a little bit of starter fertilizer in with mainly phosphorus, because that's what the plant needs in one of the first things it needs for cell division as a starting. We put that in with the seed, and we plant. We put the onions on about a 3-inch drop, and we plant on a 44-inch bed. We plant 4 beds of onion, or 4 rows of onions, and from then on, we just watch them. Just before they emerge, we spray Roundup on to kill all the weeds that are up and growing, and we put a product called Prowl on, which is a herbicide that if we get some rains on, will go into the ground and keep seeds from germinating. Now that all of our crop that we wanted has germinated, we try to keep something to keep them from germinating. And then as the onions get about 2 inches high, it's called the second true leaf, we start putting herbicide on. We put a product called Moxie on that kills all the broadleafs. We put Section on to kill the grass. We spray them 4 or 5 times. Once the onions get up to where they're about 4 to 5 true leaves, we have a bug that starts impacting the onions. It's called thrip. It's a very small, about the size of not the head of the needle, but the other end of the needle. It's very, very hard to see. And then we'll spray for that about 4 or 5 times in about every 10 days schedule. Once we start watering, we will start pulling a petiole sample or tissue test on a 10-day basis, and then we feed them what is required to make the onion grow and store. There's some different things that we can add on that end to make the onions store better, and then we just kind of finish up. We will start harvesting our true, not our overwintering, but our true Spanish onions. We'll start harvesting here next week, so it'll be the first week of August. It's typically about as early as we start on our true Spanish, and we'll harvest from then until the middle of October, probably around the 15th, and then we hope to be in all of our doors and out of the weather, because we'll start getting cold and freezing after that. And then we'll run our onions from then until the first part of May, and sell what we, whoever needs them, whatever they need. We've been a big change in the last 5 years. 5 years ago, we were after onions that were 4.5 to 5 inches in size each onion. They were called a super colossal. And today, we don't want any super colossals. That market has typically gone away. That's partly because of food health. If you go to Chili's or an Outback and you buy an Awesome Blossom and it's a huge onion and you eat all of it, you get more than your daily intake of fat every day. And so the mindset was, well, we'll go to a smaller onion because it's more healthy for you. And so that market is typically gone. So we've gone from a 6-inch spacing to a little less than a 3-inch spacing, which means that you're putting on exactly twice as many seeds as you were before. And so you're spending a lot of money because onion seed is expensive. It's I think it's costing about $600 an acre to plant them just for the seed now by itself, and so it's fairly expensive. And so we want to make sure we get a good stand. We've been doing this for enough years now, and I think we've got it figured out what's required to get a good stand. And if you can get a good stand and get them up and growing and feed them and water them, they'll give you a good crop.